Hey, what's up guys? This is Nick from Nick Expose. I have to make this video real quick because I'm on my way to a wedding. If you didn't know, Emily and I shoot weddings, or at least we did shoot weddings. This will be the last wedding that we shoot for quite some time, I think. We're taking a step back from weddings for a while so that way I can focus more on the YouTube channel and my personal work, and then Emily can focus on her artwork. We don't have to juggle a million things anymore going into this year. But I get questions all the time on whether or not I shoot film at weddings and what my workflow is and everything like that. So I wanted to make this quick little video and kind of run down some of the gear that I use and kind of share some of the other, what film I use, where do I send my film, what digital camera do I use, and just kind of answer a bunch of the questions that I get on a regular basis here in this video. So first and foremost, one of my all-time favorite wedding cameras, I use my Mamiya 645. Emily got this for me for our wedding, actually as a wedding gift. So this camera is so near and dear to my heart, but I absolutely love it. With the grip, it works just like an oversized SLR. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It shoots 645 format, so medium format 120 film. I had the 80mm 1.9 at one point. Mine had a little bit of haze in it, and it still shot just fine, but it was such a big lens. Mine was really stiff. I just ended up going back to the 2.8 anyways, and I just absolutely love this lens. It has such amazing characteristics as far as just the shallow depth of field and just the little bit of distortion that it gives. I absolutely love the way that it renders. So that's the only lens that I have for this camera. That's the only lens that I rock out on this camera. I have two film backs, so I have the second one ready to go. Both of them are loaded up with film on my way to the wedding, so that way I could just get out there and run and gun. As far as when I shoot film, normally I shoot film out in the day, so anytime we're outdoors for portraits or you know, family formals, bridal formals, anything like that is typically when I'm shooting this guy. Today, because it's like in the negatives here in Michigan, we're actually going to be indoors all day, and I'm going to work with some pretty sweet window light in this venue that we're shooting at today. So I do look forward to shooting this. I have it loaded up with Portra 400, and that's really my only film, color film at least, that I shoot at weddings is Portra 400. I absolutely love the way that it just gives the Michigan light its coloring characteristic. I've tried Fuji Pro 400H, and I like the film, but I don't know. I think that the light that we have here in Michigan, it might sound weird, but I think it just renders better with the Kodak film stock. So that's what I use in this. I actually carry the film around in this thing. I don't actually even know what this is called. I found this at a thrift store. I found a bunch of them actually. I have one over across the room too. But they're these little film cases, and they're specifically designed for film. It opens up, and it kind of has this curve. And you could put like, I think 6 different rolls of 35mm in here, or 4 different rolls of 120 in here. So I have another roll of Portra 400, so that's 3 rolls of Portra 400 for today. And then I also have some HP5, which I'll probably push during the dancing shots and get some nice grainy, probably a little bit blurry dancing shots when we shoot that. I also bring the Leica. So one of the last weddings, I started rotating the Leica into the whole shooting experience, and I absolutely loved it. If I could shoot every single wedding with just these 2 cameras, I absolutely would, and I probably would continue shooting weddings into 2018 if that was the setup. I try to work this in as much as possible. Last time I shot it, I had the Elmar 50mm on there, so it was the 2.8 version of the Elmar that I was borrowing from Kyle Ting, so thank you, Kyle. Now I have this Summicron. It's the dual range Summicron, so it allows me to get nice and close with the goggles on top. I keep those in the little pouch here. Those stick in my pocket, and I'll put those on when I'm doing any kind of portraits or any kind of close-up details with the Leica. This is all HP5 pushed to 1600, so it's essentially bringing my daily shooting into my wedding shooting, and I've really been enjoying that lately. So this one's living with me, and then I also have the 35mm Summicron. It's the version 3. So that's in the bag as well. I'll probably, I don't know if I'm going to shoot with this much today, but if I do, it's right there and ready to go. Also carry my Bukuri case, or whatever you guys call these, and it's just packed full of HP5 when we're doing the, I know this venue and I know that it's going to get very dark, later on in the day, and it has some just interesting lighting characteristics, and it's all wood ceiling, all a warm wood floor and warm brick walls, and it's just going to be very, very warm. So I'm actually looking forward to pushing the HP5 during the reception and just shooting into the evening, as well as shooting some of the digital gear. But I also get asked, as far as when portraits come, what do I use to meter? So you guys know for my personal work, and when I'm shooting the HP5, I probably won't meter. But when I'm shooting the Portra 400 in the Mamiya, I am using this. This is the Seikonic L478D. It's the touchscreen light meter, and it's just a nice little light meter. It's nice and small, can fit in my back pocket, and I just rock out with that super quick. Put it up underneath the chin, kind of pointed down towards the shadows, meter. I do meter the Portra 400 at 200, so I give it a stop of overexposure. Today, I probably won't do that. I'm gonna try and go for the nice warmer and darker tones of the venue that we're shooting in, so I'll probably shoot it right at 400, but typically when I'm shooting outdoors, I'm metering at 200 and just rocking and rolling like that. I send all the Portra 400 over to Indie Film Lab down in Montgomery, Alabama. They do an amazing, amazing job with our film. We've used them with our wedding shoots for 3 or 4 years now, and we've just constantly been blown away by their quality and their turnaround time. Oftentimes we'll pay the extra little bit of money to get them to expedite the film quicker. This time around, I don't know that we're going to do that, because we have kind of more leeway with our timeline on it. Lastly, real quick, the digital gear that we use, we both shoot a 5D Mark II. I'm very much in the camp of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. These have served us extremely well for years, and they're still an amazing camera. I know that the Mark, I don't know, 18 is out now. I really don't follow along with all that, but again, we haven't come across a point to where these haven't done the trick and haven't done the job well for what we're shooting. So we continue to use these. We have tons of cards. I use the Sigma 51.4 Art, the Sigma 70-200 2.8, and then Emily has an array of lenses as well. So she's shooting 2.8 24-70. The 100mm macro from Canon, the 85mm 1.8 from Canon, and I think that's it. So that's kind of our run and gun setup as far as digital goes. And really that's it. Like I said, this has to be a real quick video because I got to take off in about 10 minutes to get over to the groom and start his getting ready shots. And Emily and I split up for the day. We shoot, I shoot the groom for the first part of the day, she shoots the bride, and then we come back together for the first look or the you know, formal portraits or anything like that. And then we just kind of rock and roll with the rest of the day together, tag teaming it. Emily does an amazing job at like the really documentary type shots. She's really fantastic at getting the in-between moments and really paying attention. And I mean, as a woman, she gets to see from the standpoint of a woman and all those little bits and pieces of the day that are just so intimate and so, like, you know, down to earth, and she just captures those so well. I do decent at that, but then I really shine in the posing and the portrait section. So I kind of take over for the day when we're doing the formal portraits, when doing the bridal portraits, all those different types of portraits I really love running and gunning with, especially with the Mamiya 645. And then I do jump back in with the reception and the ceremony. I'm typically on the zoom lens, really kind of getting the far away shots. I'm adding other elements in the scene and just kind of making it unique. But I'm not going to share too many. I don't think I'm actually going to share any of the photos from the digital gear. That's pretty common. But the thing that I get asked most on is if I shoot film at weddings. So I hope this answers that question. And then I'll share some of the photos from the Mamiya 645 and the Leica at weddings over the last, I don't know, couple years. I'll just pick 4 or 5 from each and kind of share them with you guys so you can kind of see the type of work that I'm shooting at weddings. So I do love shooting color at weddings. I don't shoot color for my personal work typically because I'm always shooting color at weddings, and I kind of like having the separation. But now that I'm working the HP5 into the wedding day flow, I might start working some of the Portra into my flow. I don't know. I don't know what 2018 has in store for my personal work. So I do know that we are not doing weddings moving forward. We will do them if they pay the price that I'm throwing out there, but the price that I'm throwing out there is really scaring a lot of people away. I'm comfortable asking the price. Not too many people are comfortable paying the price, but I like that because I want to make room to really focus on the channel here and really focus on my personal work and really take it to the next level even in 2018 here. So thank you guys. If you guys have any questions about my workflow, about the gear that I'm using, leave them down below. And then I'd love to hear if you guys shoot weddings or you guys shoot professional gigs, if you're working any of your film gear in, I'd love to hear that as well. So leave those in the comments down below. I look forward to connecting with you guys and seeing you on the next video. Until then, stay warm in this winter. It's like negative 10 degrees here. It's not negative 10, but it feels like it. Anyways, I gotta get going. Peace.